What's up, you guys? Welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what a magazine crew is. So I've told stories on my channel here and there about magazines. I've briefly mentioned it. And if you're an OG and you've been here from the start, you know what I'm talking about. If not, don't worry, I will explain everything. So I've gotten several questions on it and I thought I would just walk you through it. But this is going to have to be like a 3 or 4 part series because I did the magazine crew for several years on and off. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stories to share with you guys just on magazines alone. I think it would also be really cool if I introduced you to some people that I worked with because people have reached out asking, hey, can I be on your channel? Blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and get started with part 1 of magazines. So Randy and I were in New York and we were about to violate parole. Isn't that the great start of a story? So the next day we're sitting there at night and the next day we had parole and he just came up with this idea, let's not go. Let's just not go. So we were going to violate because of our drug test. And back then, probation and parole for me from a very early age was just Russian roulette. Go and take a drug test or go on the run, which is absconding. So I didn't want to lose Randy again to prison. I didn't want to go back to jail. I wanted to run. So he said, hey, I know of this place. We can get bus tickets. We can travel the country with the sales team. Do you want to go? And I didn't ask any questions. I didn't ask where we would go. I just said, of course I want to go and be with you. Let's go do it. Let's go travel the country and see the world. Ask more questions than that, you guys. If someone's like, hey, do you want to travel the country with a group of strangers? Please ask where you're going, you know? You don't have to be so ride or die where you either die, go eat something first, ask some questions, sleep on it. But anyway, I just said, yeah, let's go. So he, sure enough, the next morning got 2 bus tickets to go to the Carolinas. Well, I told my best friend / roommate, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to travel the country and be free, man. Peace out. And she's like, what? Like, it just sounded crazy to her. But I told her when she was on her way to work, so she couldn't talk me out of it. And Randy told his cousins, hey, I'm leaving, peace out, which they were very used to. He's been in and out of prison his whole life, and they were used to him going on the run. So, but this was my first time. So we get on the bus to go to the Carolinas, and that's when I decided to ask questions. Really stupid, right? I'm like, well, where are we going exactly? What are we going to do? What are we going to sell? I didn't even know it was magazines, you guys. And he started to kind of break it down, like all the rules that this magazine crew had, also what we would be doing and how we'd be selling magazines. So I remember on the bus being kind of nervous, like, I don't know how to freaking sell anything. I'm a drug dealer. Drugs sell themselves. There's no hustle in that. I don't know what I'm doing, you know? But he kind of started to teach me the sales pitch on the bus. So we get there probably 16, 17 hours later. We took a Greyhound bus. You know how bad those things suck, right? So we get to this hotel. And we walk into this office and we meet the manager. His name is Josiah. And he said, okay, Jessica, your room is this room number. Randy, your room is this room number. Now, we had different bosses. His boss was someone else. My boss was Josiah. So I'm like, we can't sleep together. Like, I thought we'd be sharing a room, you know? But girls have their own room. Guys have their own room, and you share. So girls could go in guys' rooms, but guys could not go in girls' rooms so that girls have privacy and all of that and respect and space. So guys aren't even allowed to even like hang out in girls' rooms at all. And at first I was like, this sucks. Like, I want to stay with my boyfriend. Why can't we stay in the same room? And it just really bothered me. So that was like my first like, I don't really like this. Then my second day, I didn't have to work the first day. I kind of settled in and got in my room and met some people after they got back from work. So my first real day on the job, we go to this meeting, right, where they like amp everyone up and they tell all the agents which car they're going to go into because these cars drive around in neighborhoods and knock on doors. Well, before we could get to the car, they did something called round robins, and they almost lost me day 1 because I thought it was so weird. They stand around in a circle and they chant and they amp each other up and they get motivated and they're yelling and they're being weird and saying crazy things that I can't repeat on YouTube. And I just thought, is this a cult? Like, it was just so strange. And Randy whispered to me on the way to round robins, hey, I forgot to mention this part. Just ignore this. Because he knew I would think it's so weird, right? They're like yelling, like, who runs this shit? Like, just screaming things, right? And I'm just like, no, count me out. No. So I just sat there just staring at them thinking it was weird. Then we get in a car and I had to train with somebody. But like really, I just kind of wanted to figure it out on my own, you know? So I'm like, I'm good, girl. Like I got this. And my first day on the job, I had 7 sales, which is like unheard of. So people kept asking me, have you sold magazines before? Because I guess it's like, you're not supposed to like jump crews, you know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I've never sold magazines before. I've just sold drugs. So instantly I was really good at it, but it was a lot of work to me. So I honestly like didn't really like it. So fast forward 2 weeks, Randy and I are fighting. We are not spending that much time together. We both have to work a lot. He's lazy. He doesn't want to stay. I flirted with a guy and that pissed him off. You know, I didn't cheat on Randy, but I definitely flirted. And to me, like now, and I'm almost 30, I think that's cheating and I don't think it's acceptable. But back then I'm like, I didn't do anything. But really I was being shitty. And he responded in a way that is, you know, jealous. And I was whatever. I was disrespecting him by flirting with another guy. So we got in a huge fight and he left. Well, I decided to go tell my boss, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to go home. Please give me a bus ticket. I'm done. And I got probably the best speech ever in my life. He said to me, and I'll never forget this ever. He said, success is the best revenge. Why don't you stay here for a few weeks, make a bunch of money, get promoted, and then tell me if you want to quit. And I just thought like, God, my boyfriend just left me. The love of my life just left me. I just want to go cry in a hole. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be around anybody. But I kind of just decided, you know what? Success is the best revenge. Let me stay here. So 1 week after Randy left me and I was just in a hotel with strangers, I got promoted to something they call team bitch. It sounds really strange, but that just means I had like 60 sales, I think, in 1 week, and I got a ring, a big ring. It's called a team bitch ring, and they celebrated and they took me out to a club, a strip club, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. You know, I made a bunch of money that week. I probably made $2 or $3 grand that week. So I was so excited. And now I started to make friends with these people, and they were just the best hustlers I've ever met in my life. You know, if you can sell a magazine door to door, you got some skills, right? So I just kind of got into it. And then 2 weeks after I got my team bitch promotion, I made queen bitch. I know it sounds so weird. So this tattoo right here, I don't know why I'm wearing long sleeve, but this tattoo right here says 022. That was my crew numbers. And we kind of just yelled those out and we amped each other up and we made a bunch of money. But there was a lot of unhealthy things that kind of made my addiction worse. First of all, I'm making a lot of money. Traveling the country, I'm on the run. That's not sustainable. Number 2, women were kind of treated like queens in a sense. Like, I didn't have to do laundry. I had someone else do my laundry. We called them WABs, or, I'm sorry, weak ass bitches. That just means you can't sell magazines. So I would get the WABs to do my laundry, and I'd pay them a little bit of money to do that. I bought new clothes, new shoes every single week if I didn't want to mess with laundry or ask someone to do my laundry. I never had to go buy cigarettes. That was taken care of for me. I never had to pump gas. You know, so it was just like I was living this fantasy. Like, I don't know what world I thought I was living in where I'm like, women don't pump gas. Because still to this day, I don't want to pump gas. I think it's not cool that women have to pump gas. It's so strange. Like, so I try to make Reese pump gas every time. And honestly, like, ipso facto about me, I will wait until the last minute to pump gas. I absolutely hate it. But this just kind of further made me unhealthy. You know, these are not normal lifestyle choices. Partying, going to strip clubs, buying clothes all the time so you don't have to do laundry, and everything was in excess. Every week I had a new pair of shoes, and that was kind of like a crew rule, like fresh clothes, fresh shoes every single day, every single week, buy this, buy that. And I never saved money. I never even thought about saving money. As much money as I made, so anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a week, I was spending exactly that much money on alcohol, on weed, on clothes, on shoes, just whatever, piercings, whatever I wanted, manicures, sunglasses. I had Gucci sunglasses. I mean, it was just crazy, the amount of things I was doing. So a lot of the people on crew would party all the time and go to clubs, right? Well, I'm very introverted, and I would try to kind of skip out on that as much as I could. We'd have limo bonuses. We'd go to concerts. We'd do all this stuff, but I didn't want to participate. And that's kind of when my crew started to realize, like, she has an addiction. There's something wrong. So my heroin addiction got worse, and I quit several times and then went back several times when I was on the run. And that's just how I traveled for so long. That's why I ended up in Arkansas, because I knew someone there and I quit Crew. So I really hope you guys like this story. I will continue to pick up these stories and tell you guys more about the magazine Crew, but I just kind of wanted to jump on here and just share like little tidbits along the way. And I hope you guys are looking forward to part 2, 3, and 4 of the magazine Crew. Also, hopefully tomorrow, I will have a tattoo tour for you guys, because everyone's asking me to see all my tattoos. And I'm just warning you, excuse me, I have some shitty tattoos. But if you're so new school that you don't have any crappy tattoos done in someone's kitchen, we can't be friends. I'm just kidding. I will see you guys next time. Bye.